Hi guys, welcome to the next one. We're going to go through another functional skills level 1 paper. This one is this one right here. So you should notice this one has got those funny little stars on the side here. I'll show you where it is in Google Classroom, you know, if you want to know. So we've already done practice set 1. This is in practice set 2. If you click on practice set 2, it's in here. So there's section A, there's section B. So I'll show you what it looks like. There you go. There's section A. Yep, which is what we're going to do first. So let's do section A. Non-calculator. Again, you get 25 minutes and without your calculator. Let's have a look. So question 1. Convert 3 meters into centimeters. Oh, I need my pen. 1 second. Let's reload this. Funny little thing. Right. Convert 3 meters into centimeters. How do we do that? So how many meters? No, sorry, how many centimeters are in 1 meter? You definitely need to know this. Let's change it to a red pen. You definitely need to know that 1 meter equals 100 centimeter. This is essential. You definitely need to know that. Yeah, so they won't tell you in the exam. It's one of those facts that you do have to remember. Good way of remembering, you know, cent means 100, like a century. So if you think of that, it will remind you. It's not 1,000. Cent literally means 100. Yeah, so it's a good way of remembering it. You know, the clues are in the name. So yeah, you definitely need to know this. So if 1 meter equals 100 centimeters, 3 meters will be 3 times that, which is 300 centimeters. Yeah, you can just put 300 in there if you know it straight away. You don't have to show your working out for this because it's only 1 mark. Yeah, if it was more than 1 mark, you would have to show your working out. Then it says, work out 3,400 divided by 1,000. Ooh, how do you do that without your calculator? Let's write the number 3,400. I'm going to divide it by 1,000. Okay, so a really good way of doing this. Don't use the bus stop method. You know, a lot of people would have put it in the bus stop and start dividing by 1,000. I wouldn't recommend that, not for this. I would move the decimal point. So you've got your decimal point right at the end here. We know it's there. I know we can't see it, but we know it's there for any whole number. If you're dividing by 1,000, that's going to be 3 jumps to the left. So that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it lands there. Oh, that wasn't very good, is it? Slightly off. Let me do that again. 1, 2, 3. There you go. And it lands there. Yep, so it's gone from here. It's gone from the right-hand side. And it lands between the 3 and the 4. So it should be 3.4. Yep, so dividing by 1,000 is 3 jumps. If it was 100, it would be 2 jumps. If it was 10, it'd be 1 jump. And if it's multiplying, it goes the other way. Yeah, it's a really good way of doing that. Let's see the next one. Calculate 35, take away 15, divide by 5. So this uses BIDMAS. Yeah, BIDMAS, or some people call it BODMAS. So we have to do it in the order of BIDMAS, not in the order that it's written. So you don't do 35 take away 15 first. You have to do it in the order of BIDMAS. Let me just write that down. BIDMAS. You have to do it in this order. They're not going to say in the question, you know, use BIDMAS to work this out. Sometimes they might, but I doubt it. Most of the time, they'll give you a weird calculation like this. You have to instantly think, yeah, I need BIDMAS for that. You know, so if you have anything like this, you know, anything with it, lots of multiplication, adding, and subtraction and everything like that in one question, definitely use BIDMAS for that. So the B stands for brackets. So if there are any brackets, do them first. I is indices. So things like squared and cubed and things like that. D is for division. M, multiplication. Can't spell. multiplication. Is that how you spell it? This should be a C there. And the last bits you do are addition and subtraction. Yeah, they're very low priority. Yeah, so the very last things you do are adding and subtracting because they're very low priority. Anything else you do first. So don't do the subtraction first. You're going to have to do this first, 15 divided by 5, which gives you 3. So technically it's 35 take away 3 now. Yeah. And then you've only got one thing left to do, which is 35 take away 3, which is 32. Yeah, so if you get any other answer apart from 32, you've got it wrong. Yeah, 32 has to be your answer for this. Can't be anything else. Let's move on. Where's my mouse gone? Question 2. Aaron is building a brick wall. The wall will need 1,025 bricks. The weight of each brick is 2.89 kilograms. Aaron will pay a delivery charge if the total weight of the bricks is over 2,500 kilograms. Use estimation to work out if you think Aaron will need to pay the delivery charge. Must show you working out. 3 marks for this. Okay. Let's have a look at this question again. You know, if it doesn't make sense, just read it again. Just make sure you understand what's going on. You know, don't rush through it. And try and write something that just for the sake of it. Try to understand what's going on, you know, before you put pen to paper. So I think the key word here definitely is estimation. Yeah, if we didn't have that in there, it'd be a completely different question. So they want us to round these numbers. Yeah, because it says estimation. They don't want us to use 1,025. They don't want us to use 2.89. We have to round these. So let's say 1,025 is 1,000, and that's bricks. And the weight, instead of 2.89, let's call it 3. Let's do it to the nearest whole number. Yep. So you can see that if your dotted line is there, that's going to decide, yeah, makes it 3 kg for each brick. So we've got that many bricks. Each brick is 3 kilograms. So how much is that in total? So now we do 3 times 1,000, which is, so it's going to be 3,000 kilograms in total. He thinks, what is the actual question? Let's see. Use estimation to work out if you think Aaron will need to pay a delivery charge. Right. So make sure you answer the question. This is not your final answer. We have to work out if you think Aaron will need to pay the delivery charge. So we have to say whether he has to pay it or not. Let's go back to the question. He'll have to pay a delivery charge if the total weight is over 2,500 kilograms. Yeah. So he has to pay, because it's 3,000, he's going to have to pay. So you say, yes. 3,000 is more than 2,500, or something along those lines. Yep, 3,000 kg. I should have put kg there. Yeah, 3,000 kg is more than 2,500 kg. Yep, so he has to pay the delivery charge, or something along those lines. Just make sure you've answered the question. That's your 3 marks right there. So if you start using the actual figures, you won't get anything for that at all. You won't get a single mark for that. So do look out for keywords like estimation, especially in the non-calculator section. Let's move on. Question 3. Farmer has a rectangular field. Field is 300 meters long, 200 meters wide. Calculate the perimeter of the field. 2 marks. Yeah, so don't get this mixed up with area. Area is length times width. Perimeter just means all the way around. I know we can't see what this field looks like, but you know, you can always draw it. If there's no diagram, let's call that 300. That's 200. Yeah, it has to go all the way around. So obviously that's, if that's 300 at the top, that's going to be 300 at the bottom. That's got to be 200 on that side. So calculate. So we have to show, because it's 2 marks, we need to show 300 plus 200 plus 300 plus 200. There's loads of ways you can do that, obviously. That's going to give me 500 plus another 500. That's going to be 1,000. Yeah. It will be 1,000 meters. There's your 2 marks right there. So you get 1 mark for your working, 1 for your answer. Then it says, farmer is buying fence panels. He needs a total length of 200 meters of fence panels. Each fence panel is 2.5 meters in length. Work out how many fence panels the farmer will need to buy. When I was marking this, quite a lot of people got this wrong. Let's have a look why. Right, let me just increase that, that's fine. Okay, let me move it down a little bit for this part B. Right, how do we do this? So, farmer is buying fence panels. He needs a total length of 200 meters. Okay, each fence panel is 2.5 meters in length. Right, how many fence panels will he need? Well, if he needs 200 meters in total, how many of these go into that? That's how many fences he'll need. Yeah, so don't be tempted to multiply this. You know, a lot of people would do that. It's not multiply. We are doing 200 divided by 2.5. That's the calculation. But a lot of people would have put multiply and, of course, work that out and then get the wrong answer. It's not multiply. It's how many of those 2.5s go into it. Is there an easy way of figuring out which one it is? You could say, I know what you could do. You could say 1 fence equals 2.5 meters. Yeah. He's got 200, or he needs 200 meters of fence panel. How many of those go into that? You're going to have to divide it. Yeah, to get from that to that, you're going to have to see how many of these go into that to see how much bigger it is. Let's just double check. 200 divided by 2.5. Oh, I'm using my calculator here. This is non-calculator, isn't it? Naughty, naughty. We're not allowed to use our calculators for this. How do we do it without a calculator? Well, it's difficult to divide with a decimal. So let's change it to a whole number. You could change that 2.5 and times it by 10. Yeah, because that moves the decimal point that way. But if you times that by 10, you're going to have to times that by 10 as well, because it's proportional. So that's going to be 2,000 divided by 25. So that line there is the same as that line right there. 2,000 divided by 25. Whatever answer you get is going to be the same as your original question. But again, dividing by 25, you'll be able to do it, but you know, it might take you a bit longer. So instead of that, instead of doing it that way, what's an easier way? Let me just double check. I know what you could do. An easy way of doing this. We just want it to be a whole number. Why don't we just double that? Where's my pen gone? Why don't we just double it? So if you double that, 2.5 doubled is 5. Yeah, but if you double that side, you're gonna have to double that side as well, which is 400. That's a lot easier. Yeah, that's much, much easier. And then you can use the bus stop method. 400 divided by 5, everyone's favorite bus stop. 5 into 4 doesn't go. 5 into 40 goes 8, and you've just got 0. There's your answer, 80. 2 marks for that. So yeah, a lot of people did get this wrong. Firstly, they started multiplying it when they should have divided. That was the first mistake. And a lot of people didn't know how to divide 2.5 into 200. They tried doing bus stop method. You can't divide by decimal. Well, you can, but it's very, very difficult. I wouldn't recommend it. So change it to a whole number. The smaller, the better, obviously. You know, if I had 25 here as well, I could have done it, but it would have taken me ages. Remember, it's only 2 marks. It's only 2 marks for this. Don't spend ages on something like this, like I just did. Let's move on. Question 4. Sarah is buying a new car. She will keep the car for 5 years. Sarah has this information. You got a diesel car, you got a petrol car. Okay. So diesel car, buying price is that. Average running cost, £1,200 each year. Okay. Petrol car, buying price is that. Oh, there you go. Right. So there's 2 different things going on here. This tells you that the running cost is £1,200 each year, whereas this says the total running cost for 5 years. Just make a note. Just make a mental note of that. Yeah, because we might need to have the same for both. Sarah wants to see whether a diesel car or a petrol car is better value for the 5 years. Right. Which type of car is better value? Show why you think this. 4 marks. This is the last question in section A. Okay. It's one of those questions where you have to compare, isn't it? So you've got the diesel car. Let's do diesel car on this side. And you've got the petrol car. So if you're trying to compare, you could work out what it is for each year, possibly. Or you can work it out what it would cost over the 5 years. After the 5 years, I mean, sorry. Yeah. It doesn't really make a difference which way you do it. As long as we can compare, they both have to be the same thing. Let's do diesel car first. I'm going to do it for 5 years because then petrol car, that's already 5 years as well. So let's do diesel car. Buying price is that. Average running cost, £1,200 each year. Well, she keeps it for 5 years, so we're going to have to multiply that by 5. So nothing times 5 is nothing. Nothing. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. And that gives you 6. So over 5 years, that's what it costs. Plus, obviously, the price of the car. So we're going to have to add these 2 together. 2, 9, 5, 1, 5, 6,000. Let's add these 2 together. 5, 1, 5, 5, carry the 1. You can carry at the top, carry the bottom. Makes no difference. Yeah, that's 35,515. Yeah, that's the diesel one done. Petrol one, dead easy. Just a one-off price of that, plus that over 5 years. So it's just 2,6,775 plus 8,000. This should tell us what it is over 5 years. 5 for that, 7, 7, 14. Carry the 1. Yeah, they're pretty close, aren't they? Yeah, so if you get pretty close, you're on the right track. So which one is better value? Which one is the cheapest one over 5 years? Definitely petrol. That's the one she should go for. Yep, so over 5 years, she'll save money on the petrol car. There's your 4 marks right there. You could have worked out what it is for each year, just for 1 year, sorry. Same thing, you would have got petrol car. I'm not going to do that now, but yeah, that's another way of doing it. There are many ways. That's probably the best. And that's it. So section A is done. Let's move on to section B. I shall see you in a moment.